Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out! Oh my God! KO in midair!
Hey, what's up everybody? And we're back today with another video. I know I'm spoiling you all, but I have plenty of time on my hands right now. So, today we're going to be looking at Shocker, the tier 9 in the Swedish medium tank line, which is the UDES 16. And we're not going to really focus too much on the gameplay. It's only the second class, but the ending's kind of exciting. But, what do I think of this tank overall? To begin with, as a general statement, I think this thing is pretty enjoyable actually. For one, you actually get armor on this thing versus the tier 8, which makes it a little more viable in terms of staying in positions that you utilize and bouncing some shots. That armor lets you have the effective, if you're using the sloping correctly. It's only like the hull armor is only 45 millimeters thick. The turret's 70, I believe. But when you add the sloping, basically the turret armor turns into something more along the lines like a Centurion, 7-1, something like that. When you're hull down and using the maximum extent of the gun depression, rather than the tier 8, where you don't have that really. You're still squishy. Doesn't mean you're incapable of taking damage in that kind of spot. Like this, HE will splash through you very, very easily. Meaning it'll do a lot of splash. It won't pen you necessarily, but it'll do a lot of splash damage. Whether that's already or like a T-49 hitting you or something like that. So something to keep in mind. And also like stuff like tier 10 TDs and high penetration heat rounds will go also through you as well. So you're not invulnerable, but you can get away with a little bit more in terms of bouncing shots, which I found out. And compared to the tier 8, the gun on this thing's a little bit better. It's 390 alpha gun, which is nice. It's pretty average for tier 9 mediums, but it's nice that you get that. Just nice like I got Bombardier. Notice that in game. But yeah, the gun has 390 alpha, 5.3 rounds a minute, which isn't great. It's pretty DPM wise, but it really didn't get changed too much in the port over. You got some DPM loss, but it wasn't massive. This one got touched the least. As you see, we're falling back from the main position because we're just not capable of holding that spot in this tank. It's not meant for that against multiple enemies. So we're going to take a more ranged approach, I guess, now on. But it also has 2.2 second aiming time, which is a lot better than the 2.5 seconds on tier 8. Still not fantastic, but it's certainly more workable than the tier 8's aiming time that it gives you. 0.36 accuracy makes it actually the most accurate out of the Swedish mediums, of all of them, including the tier 10 now. So take that with what you will. It's still not great, but the gun's a little bit better in terms of behaving. But it's still 0.36, so don't expect to be sniping E100 bars at distance, especially with the lack of penetration on the rounds. The base pen on the standard is 234, which is APCR, which isn't actually that bad. It's not the best, but it's still pretty good. However, the premium rounds don't have that much pen at all, and they're not that big of an improvement. They're only 263, which means you're going to struggle against heavily armored like heavies and TDs from the front, and you really want to avoid that kind of scenario in all situations in this tank, because you're probably going to really struggle and just bounce credits off the front. And then the HE had 53mm pen and 480 alpha, which I'm carrying 2 just because 390 alpha I think I can get away with a little bit more. But yeah, you see, we're just trying to play this tank to its strength a little bit and keeping it range. Again, the accuracy can let you down a little bit on these tanks because you have to play at range, but it's kind of what you have to do to an extent. It's that medium to, I don't want to say long range, but yeah, you don't really want to find yourself brawling in these things too much. You find yourself in trouble even with the addition of some armor. Again, once you're on flat ground, you really don't have that much armor. You can still pull some bounces, but really with this thing, excels in using that armor is on sloping terrain. So you can kind of see why we're going back up into this bush to try to, and on this hill, to maximize the camo and the gun depression here, so we can just ambush people trying to push across. I'm not trying to take up more traditional spots. I'm trying to get stuff that benefits this tank more. And here I'm just trying to spot them, and then I will pull back, hopefully not get spotted. That's kind of the goal of this position. But yeah, again, DPM is kind of subpar, but that's kind of the thing on PC as well. It just doesn't have that much DPM to begin with. It's not crazy. From my experience, I didn't really have too much of an issue. I actually enjoyed this tank. I was very consistent in it. I didn't have that like wow game, but I was consistently pulling like 3k 4k damage in this tank, and I'm definitely probably gonna hit. Definitely gonna keep this thing. Eventually I gotta get another crew though, because my crew's in the tier 10 now, which that video will be up tomorrow more than likely. But yeah, I don't know much about the stock grind on this, but just looking at some resources, it apparently is a little rough playing this thing with the tier 9's gun, or the tier 8's gun as well. You see, and then this is the thing. Right now we pull forward, try to spot, and then pull back and try to maximize the gun depression and armor as best we can with bushes, which is kind of the play style. If you can get in this kind of position like this, and we put a crossfire into them. If other people have watched a certain bearded streamer from PC, you know this position very well. I'm talking about Sircon, of course, but yeah, we're utilizing this bush to the best of our extent. It's probably one of the perfect tanks for this position, simply because we're able to get the gun depression and not get spotted here. Some tanks can struggle with getting the gun depression in this position, but we're not one of them, as we have excellent gun depression, so we're able to just pick off the Ferdinand without him ever knowing where we were at. And our Oho sat in the perfect spot just to keep them lit up for me, and funneling them in and kind of baiting them into us, making this game manageable to win, possibly. And right now, we know that I can see we have another heavy on the opposite side of the map, and the rest of the team is more than likely going for them, minus the other UDES, who is down below, and Oho is going after him. Not the best idea, but had to do, I guess. Now this thing is also fairly mobile and quick to accelerate. It's pretty agile too. However, it doesn't mean you want to be like circling tanks. Again, the DPM is not quite there to do that. And you're gonna see here a little bit of the struggle of the DPM. I probably could have aimed. Yeah. See, this thing doesn't have armor when you're on flat ground. You're not gonna bounce much. You got to be utilizing that gun depression. And here, this is kind of a tricky situation. Again, fighting a heavy tank frontally, could just be aiming for the cupola. That'd be a better chance. But what you gonna do? Sometimes you just potato. But now we're in a 1 versus 3. We had the Barracuda who spotted in the middle. We don't know where the Conqueror is at. I don't know how much health he's on. But we're gonna go try to find him. I'm imagining he was chasing our heavy on the other side, so that's where I'm gonna go, or so. This could have backfired. If he was on full health and I ran into him, this could have been really badly, ended really badly. But he's not on full health, luckily, as we'll find out. However, it still kind of will highlight that this tank is not best for getting into that traditional medium tank kind of brawling or circling kind of thing. It can do it, but I don't recommend it. And I guess I should say, if I had time, equipment loadout is pretty much the same as I'm going to run on tier 10 as well, and then I ran as a tier 8, which is rammer, optics, and then vents. You could also run vert stabs, but because of the lack of some DPM on these tanks, I'm just going to use vents to try to get that little bit of extra reload speed on them, as we just want to maximize their potential damage output. And we've run into the Conqueror, who's unfortunately able to snapshot us. And you see the agility here, it's fairly quick to turn. It's just still not the best at it. It's just not something you really want to be doing in this tank. Is playing it like a 46 Patton or something like that, where you're playing more traditional medium tank role. But now we kind of have the advantage here. We know the Barracuda is a one-shot, and then the artillery. So really our biggest threat here is getting spotted by the Barracuda, and they already hitting us. And here we're just doing a little bit of problem solving, I guess. We were just spotted on that side of their map, so I'm going to assume that he's going to be on the left side of the cap, aiming up. At least that's just my guess. Just do some mental calculations of what somebody would logically do, and I'm going to do the opposite. And then we see that they're already is also in the cap circle, which makes life very easy on me. Getting in a cap circle like this is not always the best situation. They don't really know that, and we're able to spot the Barracuda. He can't spot us, and we're able to take him out, leaving us in a 1v1 against the artillery. So just utilizing that camo. And view range isn't that great. It's only 390, which for a tier 9, it's the same as the tier 8. Which at tier 8, that's good. At tier 9, it's alright. Stuff like the 46 Patton gets, I think 410, I believe. So it's not really that great in terms of view range, but you do get the better camo, so you can utilize it kind of better. But yeah. Don't know why I shot HE there, but whatever. My goal here is just to kind of surprise him from the most unsuspecting angle possible. That Barracuda got shot from the other side, so he's gonna imagine I'm probably on or coming from that direction, maybe, I don't know. Or he's probably hiding in the buildings. So I have plenty of time. I have 1 minute and 30 seconds, which is now the time it takes to cap regularly, so I'm in no hurry. So I can take up the best position possible in the tank to get the best drop on him, hopefully, and take him out in one shot, which is good for us. So we're going to give him a little taste of his own medicine, and hopefully, yep, spot him, and give him a little death from above. And that's how it feels there, Bao. But yeah, hopefully it gives you guys a decent idea what this tank is like overall. Again, I've rather enjoyed it. I've heard some others enjoyed it as well. You know, that's clanmates or such, but I've heard some decent things about this thing. Don't get me wrong, it's not the best tier 9 medium by any stands or any chance. However, it's very workable, and with the armor and such, it's a lot more capable of the tank in those like haul down positions. And yeah, I think I'm going to keep it. Eventually I'm going to get a crew in it and probably play it some more, so you may see it on the channel again. But right now, my crew is in the tier 10. And yeah, right now, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Good luck on your Swedish tank line grinds, and I will catch you guys next time. See ya.